all make mistakes, and making mistakes in video games can be fun but also punishing. Have you done any of these? Okay, here is the scenario. You're playing Stardew Valley with your best friend or your significant other, and naturally, you thought you were going to marry them in the game, so you grinded and got the resources to craft a wedding ring. Then you give it to them, and they say, "Nah, I'ma marry Sam or something." Wow, now what? Well, you need not worry because you can drop that wedding ring straight into a deconstructor to reclaim 5 iridium bars. It's not much, but it's something, I guess. You don't realize how much fiber you need until the end game. We need tons of fiber if we want to craft the deluxe retaining soil. Now, the absolute best way to get fiber is with the use of fiber seeds, but those are actually hard to craft since they require mixed seeds and you can't just farm for those. So, the next best way to get fiber is to enchant your sword with the haymaker enchant and smack these weeds around the valley and on your farm. It's surprisingly effective. But did you know that if you buy a golden clock, that no weeds will spawn on your farm ever again? So, if you really think about it, are there any real benefits to actually having the golden clock? I am starting to wonder. Maybe I should just destroy mine. Just remember, if you destroy it, you will not get the 10 million back. Okay, so you just started playing the game. You've been fishing, farming, mining, and defeating those pesky enemies in the mines. And then you hit level 5 combat and now have a choice: the fighter profession and the scout profession. Which one do we pick? The fighter profession will increase your base damage by 10% and slightly increase your health. The scout profession increases your critical strike chance by 50%. It's a no-brainer, right? The scout profession is just insane, right? Well, no. It's only good in very niche situations after you reach the end game, because it will not double your critical strike chance by 50%. Instead, it will increase your base critical chance by 50%. For example, if you currently have 10% chance to critically strike, it will now be 15% and not 60%. The fighter profession is just better unless you are specifically focusing on crit once you have all the tools and upgrades to maximize it. Spring, summer, and fall are amazing seasons. Why? Because we can plant, water, and harvest as many crops as we want. It's the best time for a farming simulator. But then winter comes along and crushes our dreams. Winter used to be the season I slept through before we got Ginger Island. But it's still not as good as the other seasons in terms of profit. But there is something small we can do to have a very profitable winter. And it's simple. Just don't sell your crops at the end of fall. Okay, you can sell the gold quality crops, but the rest should all be processed. All of them. Placing your fruit and vegetables into kegs will increase their value, but it can take a while. So just leverage winter for crop processing. Spend those cold winter days dropping pumpkins into kegs, preservation jars, and maximize your profit to prepare for a busy spring. Here is something I bet you didn't know. When you do almost anything in this game, it will cost you energy. And if you are not cautious and your energy somehow makes it all the way down to 0, you will be placed in an exhaustive state. Even if you eat food and increase your energy, you will still be exhausted. This will make your character move extraordinarily slow. But there is another disadvantage. If you fall asleep during this exhaustive state, you will wake up with 50% energy. You could buy a muscle remedy to remove this. But who even has those? There is another way to cure your exhaustion. All you need to do is kiss your spouse. Surprisingly, this will cure your exhaustion and you will be back to normal. Why are you all ignoring the trash bear? Yeah, he won't reward you with a star drop or anything fancy like that, but you should help the guy out. He is only trying to help us out. After the 3rd year, you can interact with the trash bear. He will request some random items like fish or cooked meals. And when you have helped him 4 times, he will fly up, clear up the trash on the beach, and most importantly, he will fix up the doghouse. You know, that alone is a good enough reason to help the trash bear out. It is true that the early game is extremely busy. We are always running around doing things, and every time we upgrade one of our tools, we are risking a lot. Imagine not being able to mine or fish or even water crops for 2 entire days. If you are not careful, it can seriously set you back. So if you are like me, I often do not even bother with upgrading my tools until I absolutely need to. But this is a massive mistake. Take the time to upgrade your tools, especially in winter. Winter is just the best time to upgrade our tools. We can take our watering can and our hoe from the basic quality all the way to medium quality within a single winter. It's worth the effort because the more we play the game, the less tolerant we get to doing tedious tasks like hoeing large acres of land for crops. Did you know that it is actually possible to buy an ancient fruit seed from the traveling merchant? This is incredibly rare, but it is definitely possible. The only problem with this is that it is a proper ancient fruit seed and not an artifact that you can give to Gunther. So, if you got an ancient fruit seed using the traveling merchant, you could do this. Use it as normal, grow up your ancient fruit empire, and then drop a single ancient fruit into a seed maker to get an ancient fruit seed. Then take that seed, place it into a deconstructor. Yes, you heard me correctly. This will produce the ancient fruit artifact seed that we can then give to Gunther to complete the museum collection. Sir Concerned Ape really did think of everything. However unlikely this may sound, it has actually happened to me, and it could happen to you too. If you did not drop anything into the shipping bin and you accidentally doze off or forget to pause the game and go do something, time will still pause in the game. And when you fall asleep, if you didn't sell anything, the game will immediately start up again without any button clicks required from you. This means that if you left the game open overnight, an entire season could go by. Make sure to either pause the game or quit if you're not fully invested. Imagine sleeping through an entire good season like summer. Have you ever received an artifact or a rare gem and thought that you have already given it to Gunther and decided to just sell it? Yeah, this can happen and it sucks. But it is incredibly easy to tell if you have given something to Gunther or not. If you just inspect the item in your inventory, it will give a description of what the artifact is. If it instead says Gunther can tell you more about this, then that is the indicator that you have not yet donated it. A simple one, but it is easy to miss if you are new to the game. You see these bushes on your farm? Have you ever felt that they are kind of in the way? Well, they are, and you can just chop them down with your axe. But if you do that, just remember that you will never get them back, and they can spawn salmon berries, so just beware of that. Have you ever hit a tree by a water source and just watched as all the wood disappeared into the shallow realm? If you have, check out this video here to see if you relate to these common Stardew Valley annoyances. Thank you for watching, but for now, I will see you in the next video.